Check, check. 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testes, testes. 1, 2. Welcome, guys. Up Trail 71 has said I should go live right after that premiere. I tried to keep typing in the chat, but they kick you out after a certain amount of time. And this Jimmy Fallon video started auto-playing. That autoplay is very annoying. I don't have anything to say or do, but I've got the almond milk that you saw in the vlog. And I've got that orange juice. That's how much I'm drinking already. Drinking's not a word, is it? Every time I turn autoplay off, it turns itself back on. And I think that's an experience many people have had before. The reason I'm wasting my time with you guys is because I'm still cooking my dinner right now. And I think my meat might be burning. No, it's good. It's good. And plus, I've got to watch an episode of Deep Space Nine while I eat. I can't play and eat at the same time. So what's for dinner is a piece of hamburger. Well, not a piece of hamburger, but ground beef. And then obviously these two. Some veggies in the sink right now, or the thing in the sink. And then 2 potatoes. What are you guys doing? Like, were you guys just already on the computer and you're like, okay, well, this is good enough. This is good enough to waste time with? Or did you get a notification and it was like, what on earth is Robbie streaming at night for? My husband wants me to tell you that Deep Space Nine has weird episode endings because it's full of amazing story arcs. I don't see the logic in that exactly, because you can have an amazing story arc and you can still finish it with the satisfying conclusion. Both times now that they've gone to those alternate universes, they go to the alternate universe, they do some incredible stuff, they come back to the station, and they don't show anybody talking about this alternate world at all. Like, I want at least one debriefing where Sisko's talking to Dax, and he's like, yes, Major, come in. And he's like this. And then they talk about what happens, and they're like, man, just at least like say, isn't that weird that we went to an alternate universe? They don't even like address it. It's so bizarre. So anyway. Notifications. Oh, okay. I was binging with Babish stream, and then I saw that you were streaming, so I switched. I'm honored that you switched from binging with Babish to me. Although I am cooking. Oh, I need to get that hamburger out. It's probably burning now. Actually, maybe it's not even done yet. Oh, no. No, yes. Oh, maybe. No, that's done. That's done. Yeah. Okay. I'm not a good cook at all. I cook for survival, first of all, and second for so I can actually eat something semi-healthy. Just something is real, not just cup noodle, because I would eat cup noodle every day if it wouldn't kill me. Actually, what I would really eat every day if I could is cereal. I would eat every color of the rainbow cereal, and I would love doing it, and I would never get tired of it. That's the one food that I would choose to eat all the time if I could. And the thing about eating stuff like that is, if you eat that all the time, it makes regular food, like real food, taste bad or not satisfying. So I try to stay away from it. But if I could eat it all the time, it'd be great. Okay. Oh, my mother's home. You can walk in and realize that I'm streaming. She's gonna have to join in and take questions, field questions. I'll train for a morning commute to work. Where do you live? Like Australia or something? Because it is definitely nighttime in a lot of the Western world. Well, Amy B, I need you to ask him to elaborate because I'm open to interpretations as to why those endings are actually satisfactory, but I'm gonna need a better explanation than that. How are you liking the new home compared to the other one? Is it in a better location? I am live streaming right now, Mother.
Okay.
So you are welcome to join in if you'd like. But you can also hide over there if you'd like.
I'll just say hi.
Okay.
Because I need to get some water. Hi, everybody.
So Louis Van Amstel from Dancing with the Stars came to the studio tonight and taught a class. Well, he taught 2 classes, one in the morning, one tonight.
Yeah, I did 3 of his classes. I was just looking at my things. Today, I burned 2,173 calories while I was exercising.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of calories.
That's a lot of calories for exercising.
That's a day's worth of eating.
Yeah. If it weren't so late, I'd eat now, but too late.
Oh, I'm eating.
Are we being filmed on there?
Yeah, right there.
I keep looking at that camera over there. It doesn't look right.
Yeah, that was. Updrill. The new home is great. It's set up much more in line with the way that we would want it. I like the hardwood floors a lot. There's a little bit less space, which is not ideal, but the garage is way bigger. The only thing I don't like is that we used to be on a dead end.
Yeah.
So there was never any cars going by. And if there was a car going by, I knew exactly who it was because I could see out the window. So it was usually the mailman or the other 3 people who lived on the edge there. Otherwise, it was great. I think you and Andrew should have a cooking show. I would love to film Andrew do a cooking show. That would be super fun. If we lived closer together, we would definitely probably have already done that at this point. Definitely, probably. That's okay. My weakness is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that good old CTC, one of the all-time classics. I miss when you used to film yourself cooking in your videos. The other reason why I stopped doing that, and it's not so much that people were asking me about it, it's that it's really annoying to film the food when I want to eat. Like if I want to eat, I don't want to have to like set up the camera and stuff. And it's kind of like a lot of work to do all the different angles and stuff for cooking. And plus when I'm hungry, I don't want to make those decisions. So in general, I just don't like doing it anymore. But I agree, they were really fun to watch. Oh, you're in Malaysia, almost 9 a.m. here. Okay, yeah, you're somewhere in Asia, I would assume. Oh, you got a lot of hi moms from the chat. I just missed them.
I'm still here. I'm just hiding on the side.
How's your coffee consumption been lately? Miss the coffee making? Miss the coffee making. I have not been drinking any coffee. I gave it up, I don't know, a while ago. The caffeine affects me too much, and I don't want to have to rely on the caffeine. When I was drinking a lot of coffee, every time I wasn't drinking it, I would feel terrible. And it's not ideal when you like go camping and you don't have coffee, you have to rely on it. And I've also noticed that since I've stopped drinking it, my skin has gotten a lot better too. That was probably more so that I was putting like a tablespoon of butter into every single glass of coffee. But even without that, I feel like coffee does something to your skin, and like it's kind of like smoking, but to a less.
Yeah, but you were putting butter even just a few weeks ago on everything you were eating, and you didn't have that effect.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I don't think it was.
Maybe it wasn't butter. Okay. Is there any delay with these live streams? The delay is actually pretty minimal. They've gotten a lot better as time has gone on, but I usually take a long time to answer a question. So by the time I get to the question, it's been a significant amount of time. Do you know when the next Adventure Archives video is coming? I do know in general. We're going to film one at the end of this month, but I don't know when we'll release it. It's going to be in January, though, for sure.
Have you released your Timberlake line thingy?
No, that's going to be on January 1st. So I did the Timberline Trail. That one is going to release on December 1st.
No.
Not December 1st, January 1st. And anybody who's a patron has already seen it because it's posted on the Patreon. Okay. I guess you got your next live stream set up when you're in Columbus. I assume that means cooking with Andrew. Yeah, that's a good idea. Should do that. Like, that'd be really fun to just. It's the thing is to make it the way that I want to make it. I would want to make it with nice production values and something more interesting than just somebody rambling in front of the camera for a long time, like what we're doing right now. And it takes a lot of work to do that. So sometimes I don't like for stuff. I have ideas, but lots of times I don't do them because I know how much work it's going to take to make it the way I want to make it. And I've got other stuff that I need to get done. So I don't muster the energy and time to do it. Oh, that's funny. This is the third time somebody has brought this up today. I was at the class and our friend Liz was telling me that every time she sees me in a video try to jump over the fence, she's like cringing, thinking that I'm about to like trip on it. Not trip on it, what's it? Hit it, whatever, and then miss. And then somebody commented today and said, how many takes did it take for you to jump over that fence? Which I thought was a weird question because if it took more than one take, do you really think that I would try again?
Not you.
If I hit myself and hurt myself?
And you would have shown yourself.
I would have shown it, yeah.
A blooper
Yeah.
at the end or a secret ending.
I'm showing my ass. Have you ever failed to jump over the fence? No. The only time I can remember failing to jump over a fence, which I had forgotten about until Liz told me, was there was a wood fence at your old house.
That was a tall fence, though.
Yeah, apparently I tried to jump over it.
Like really tall.
And I vaguely remember this. I got like my foot caught on it and I fell.
I remember that.
Yeah. But that's the only time I can remember failing. Like those.
You like had your foot, your head just went down.
But those regular fences, like I've never failed to jump over those.
Yeah.
Since I've been like probably high school. There was a guy who lived next door. Our neighbor Jessica, I used to hang out with her all the time. Her older brother, he was like 10 years older than us. I remember he jumped over that fence one time and we were like both in elementary school and I was like, oh my God, did you see that? You just jumped over that fence. That's amazing. And then now I do it like it's just like breathing. Okay, anyway.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. See.
Bye all. Get out of these sweaty clothes. Oh, Carrie's so sweet.
Yeah, I know. It's a $25 gift card.
She didn't give me nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
Did she really not?
No.
Oh.
She doesn't take my class anymore. Occasionally, but not very often.
This is mukbang right here. You guys want to see what I got? It's just literally meat and vegetables. And these vegetables are cooked in the juice of the meat.
That's not yummy.
It is pretty good, actually. You guys not use the heat in the house. You guys are always all bundled up. We have baseboard heating. So there's little heat registers on the sides of the wall. Like if you look at the videos, you can see them. They're at the bottom. And we don't turn them up very high. They're not super effective. And I also never turn them on in my room or my office. That's to save electricity. So yes, essentially we don't turn on the heat. It is on right now, but it's not on very high. So, but this is actually only on right now because what I'm wearing underneath is this, and I just walked in the door. So I walked in the door and then I premiered the YouTube video. Now we're doing a live show. Okay. Oh yeah. He says that Deep Space becomes much more episodic soon since you're on season 4. I could see that that's happening because they're getting much more in with the Dominion stuff and getting involved with like it seems much more serialized like they do. But like now serialized television is much more of a thing, but back then it was always like a one-off thing, which actually is kind of what bothers me about the Deep Space Nine is that they had continuity, but it's only they referred to it occasionally. So earlier when I'm talking about those alternate worlds, in today's television, if you had an alternate world, that would become like a whole storyline that would keep going throughout the season. Deep Space Nine, there's just nothing. So. Okay. What about decaf coffee? Decaf coffee still has caffeine in it. And it still has that same addictive property to me, so I don't even mess with that either. When I do drink coffee, though, it's usually decaf now. Is that salad spinner really worth it? You don't need it. But if you already have one, yeah, it works pretty well. Seen the comment Joe put on your recent AA post. Awesome. If you're referring to the comment that he left on our last episode saying, when are we going to collab? That is definitely in the works. I don't know if he's posted since then, but we're in talks to like schedule everything. But that is going to be great. I'm just going to film him and Andrew doing bushcraft like from every single angle. I'm like, bloop, bloop. What would you do if you were rich? If I were rich, I'd do the same thing I'm doing now, but I'd travel a lot more. So I'd go to I'd constantly, well, maybe not constantly, but I would do big spurts of going to Japan. I'd go to Europe. I'd go to Australia. I'd go to this place. I'd go to that place. And then I would just make videos all the time because it would take all the pressure off of making the videos, which ironically would probably make me make more videos, even though it would matter less. I don't know. It's a strange thing how that works. Although in 2019, that's kind of my goal is to try to make more videos for my channels rather than doing freelance videos. Because now I've gotten like my finances in control enough to where I don't need to constantly struggling to keep up. So I don't need to do all the freelance jobs anymore. So any clients I already have for freelance video, I'll continue to do that work. But any new clients that come in and want me to do this or that, and especially if it's something real small, somebody wants me to like come film like their bar mitzvah or a wedding or something, I'm like, no. Well, let me rephrase. If they pay the actual going rate, I might still do it. But if they just want me to do it like as a friend and like do the discount rate, I can't do that anymore. It takes too much time away from things that actually make money. How do you like the new house? New house is great. It's very nice. Your pitch can be can't. Yes, saving money on the heating. But I mean, the one thing is I like to have the temperature in the house at least somewhat close to what the temperature is outside. Like obviously when it's like below freezing outside, I don't want it below freezing inside, but it should be cold inside. That's just a little more natural than having it be 75 degrees Fahrenheit when it's 15 degrees outside. I just don't think that's like, if we don't get our bodies tested like against the cold, and it's also really wasteful. Same thing in the summer. If it's 90 degrees outside or 95, I don't want it to be like 69 degrees like some people put it. For one thing, if I need to put on long sleeves and long pants in the summer inside your house, it's too cold. That's wasteful. I'm not trying to like judge you, but I don't want to be in your house. Okay. Not referring to any of you guys. I don't know if you guys do that or not, but thoughts on DJI Osmo Pocket? I think you can use it for cinematic shots. It looks, It's cool, but the audio quality was the big thing for me. Same with the GoPros. The audio quality is so bad that and especially since I already have a gimbal, like although it would be nice to just have that tiny little camera. I don't know. I didn't really look into it. Right now, I'm trying not to look at any camera videos, lens videos, any type of stuff. Because when I look at those all the time, I want to get new stuff all the time. So I unsubscribe from all the camera channels that I followed on YouTube. And I don't look at any of them anymore because what happens is I just watch them and I'm like, ooh, I should get that lens. I should get this lens. I should get this camera. My camera's suddenly not good enough. I should get this camera. So I'm trying to get out of that mindset of tempting myself to get stuff. It's kind of like if you try to not eat candy, it's like what I was talking about on the vlog the other day. If you try to not eat candy and you constantly go to the candy aisle, you're like rubbing down your willpower every time you go by it. And in the same way, like if you try not to shop all the time, every time you go to Amazon, they have like these very targeted recommended items all on the bottom. Like every time I go there, it knows exactly what I like. It's like, oh, you should get Tales of Symphonia Chronicles or whatever it's called for $20. Isn't that a great price? Why not throw in Tales of Zestiria? You've never played a Tales game before. Why not do it? So I'm trying to get away from that. What veggies am I eating? I'm eating some chard. Is it chard or shard? And kale. Chard and kale. And I actually need it. We got to end this stream soon because I'm not really eating. I'll read some chat while I eat real quick. I'll play some music. Play some Adventure Archives music while I eat and read the chat. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I'll play this French woman on a bike. This one's hilarious. I forgot the drums were in this. Ooh, I'll be right back. Actually, I'm gonna finish this and I'll be right back. Okay. So, going to these questions. Sequest. I've heard the name before. I'm sure I know what it is. Let me Google image it real quick. Sequest. Oh, with that one dude. Yeah. Man, I totally forgot about that show. I have seen that show. I don't remember it at all. Did they show this? They didn't show. My brother really liked this show. For some reason in my head, I remember this kind of being on Saturday morning cartoons at one point. Even though it's not a cartoon, but that Saturday morning block. But I don't remember now. One comment. If you were rich, you'd probably hire more staff to help pump out more videos. I probably wouldn't actually, because the whole point for me is to make the videos. Like, I enjoy the actual process of it. The thing that having money would help with is I wouldn't have to worry about anything else. Like, I wouldn't have to worry about like the cost of actually making the videos, especially when we're traveling, and then the cost of paying rent, getting groceries, and feeding and clothing myself, basically. If that stuff was completely out of the way, I would be able to make more. Maybe I wouldn't make that many more videos now that I think about it, but that would be nice because it would free up all that. Are you going to camp in Joe's front yard? That sounds like a great idea. I don't know specifically where we're going to camp. I'm not even sure if we're going to be what we're going to do exactly. I don't think we decided that yet. Presumably we'll do like an actual Adventure Archives episode, but it's possible we might just do bushcraft stuff, or maybe we'll do both. I know it's only been 2 months, but you ready to go back to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo? Well, no, not really, because you're going to have to save some money for that. And I don't have any money saved up for those type of purchases. Do you have a lot of credit card debt? No, I fluctuate between having like a little bit of credit card debt to no credit card debt. And it just kind of depends on like how much camera stuff I've bought recently, but I usually pay it off pretty quickly. Samar one says that is his favorite piece of AA music. Is that true? Do you really like that song the most? Because that's hilarious. Not that that's a bad song or anything, but that's just one of the first songs we made, and like the rhythm is so off, and we barely knew what we were doing. I don't know. It does have like an earnestness about it. Okay, let's see. Has any companies asked about your music? No. Nobody has. Oh, some people have asked if they could use it in their videos, and we've been like, yeah, sure, whatever. But as far as like people actually licensing it for like games or movies or YouTube videos or whatever, no, not really. AA's Galaxy song, yeah, that was a pretty good one. I think that was one of the songs. Lots of times what happens is the first song that I write oftentimes becomes the closing song for an episode. And Galaxy was one that happened. Can I belly dance? I can, but I won't do that for you guys right now. That can be an incentive sometime. Like I'll do like a fundraiser, and I'll be like, if you pay me $500, I'll do any type of dance you want. Clothed only. Oh, I mean, if it wasn't against YouTube's terms of service, you paid me the right price, I could take off an article of clothing. Yeah, the main theme, it's not so much like the actual main theme from the start of the episode, but we use that melody all over the different songs. And lots of times I do it a little bit too much. I need to like back off a little bit because every song was kind of just becoming the AA theme. So in recent episodes, I've tried to stop doing it, but there are some episodes where every single song I was writing. And I think it's partially because when I write music, I don't really know what I'm doing. And I always write like kind of the same notes. So it always turns into, I'm like, hey, I can fit the theme in here really easily. I'm like, oh, okay. Whoa, NBA J. Okay, you gotta cool it with the sub messages, bro. Where are we at here? Where are we at? How's the Red Dead coming along? I only got to play that one time, and then I was traveling the other day, and then I've been busy, so I'm hoping to get like a good session in. Probably not tonight. I don't know if I feel like playing tonight, but this weekend at least. Welcome everybody who just joined. See you later, T Skerns. Did you ever watch the movie Cobra? No, I have not yet. I meant to see if that was at the library, but that definitely. I want to see all of those dumb 80s movies. I just need the time to watch all of them. I only watched half a Cliffhanger and I had to take it back to the library. I'll probably rent it again at some time, but just like the stupidity of those movies is so earnest. I think that's what I like about it, is that Commando is the best example of this, but there's an earnestness about it and like a sincerity and an authenticity about somebody was really excited about that. And somebody thought that these dumb lines were so great. And like the steel drum theme from Commando, however it goes. So the person who wrote that music must be like, this is awesome. And then you listen to it now and you're like, this is terrible. But you love that they loved it, if that makes sense. How's Smash Ultimate so far? I think it's fantastic. It's funny how different it plays from Smash 4. The amount of characters is incredible. The graphical upgrade is much better than I thought it would be. And overall, I love it. It's fantastic. I played Black Ops 4. I've not played a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 3. I was pretty into Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2. And then my brother got Modern Warfare 3, and by that time I was kind of done with Call of Duty. And I played his copy for like 5 minutes. And it was weird because the most crazy, incredible spectacle was going on in front of my eyes. Like a ship like crashed into New York, and then there's planes flying over, and then you're in a helicopter shooting this stuff. And somehow I didn't feel a thing. There was no excitement. There was no anything. It was just like apathy. I was just like, okay, whatever. Admittedly, maybe I was playing in the wrong environment and I was distracted or something, but I remember playing Modern Warfare 2. And there's a part where Russia invades the US and you're literally going through like suburban homes and like there's an invasion going on. That is one of the coolest things in video games ever. And then you're going through like the favelas in Brazil and you're like going through all this stuff. And then there's the part where you're near the White House and all the electricity's out. And you see a soldier in the distance and, you know, they have the Texas Star call and response. And it's like, Texas, Texas, or no, maybe saying Star. I can't remember. He's saying one or the other. And then they don't say it back. And then everybody just suddenly opens fire. Oh my God, Modern Warfare 2 was an amazing game. Samwar 1. Okay, so he really did like that song. What's your favorite backpack brand? I've not used enough backpacks to know, but I do really like the Kelty that I have. It's super solid. That being said, I used the red Kelty that I bought from the Germany trip. And it's just, I think it was like even the same model as the one I have now, but it was smaller. It developed holes in it after one use. It was really weird. My current one is like rock solid. I've beaten the crap out of the thing. The only thing that's happened is the belt buckle or the hip strap buckle is kind of broken and I had to tape it. But other than that, it's been super rock solid. But yeah, I've not used enough backpacks to have a favorite brand, so I can't recommend one. We're going hiking this weekend, and there won't be any rain. I am jealous of no rain. Any future trips any future plans for another trip back to Japan? I forgot what your friend's name is. That's Michael. He does still live in Japan, and I was just talking to him recently that I do want to go back in 2019. Currently saving money for that. And last I checked, the tickets were super cheap right now. They fluctuate a lot, but they can sometimes get down to like $600 or $700 a ticket. So next time I've got enough money and the tickets go down to that, I'm gonna go. And I'm thinking of doing like a whole month, so I can just spend like a week hanging out with Michael, getting like adjusted to the time zone, and then spending like the next 3 weeks making videos constantly. I think it'd be great. See you, Amy. Thanks for joining. Bad Movie Squad on Wednesdays. Join me and some pals. Where do you live? I will maybe, you know what I need to do is one day have a vlog road trip where I go around the country and then stay at people's houses who have interesting things to do or see in their area, and then do stuff with you guys. I think that'd be really cool.
It's a great idea.
Commando was great at being bad. I could not agree more. I watch movies free online streaming. Well, the problem is that they often don't have the movies that I want to see. Or they'll take the movies that are on there off. Like my mother, what was the movie?
The Lost Christmas, really good Christmas.
Lost Christmas on Amazon Prime, and they took it off her. And then like she was so distraught. It was like freaking out. I was like, Mom, let's just buy it, okay? I'm sure we can get it on iTunes. So I bought it for her on iTunes.
It's a really good movie, The Lost Christmas, with Eddie Izzard. Is that his name? That comedian?
Yeah, Eddie Izzard. Justin K. Cutler recently discovered AA, and your channel. I've just been binge watching for the last week. Content is inspiring, so thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you found us. Remember when I said I'd kill you last, Sully? Yeah, Matrix, you did. I lied. If you want pure dumb 80s cheese, check out The Last Dragon. Oh, The Last Dragon is great. I had never heard of it before, and my roommate, senior year of college, he was like ranting and raving about it, and we finally watched it. That is a great movie. I haven't seen it since then, though. I should watch it. Yeah. See you, Lanny Bon. Have a good day. We're going to have a good night. I can go to sleep soon. What time is it? Yeah, 8:30. Oh, what's the most important piece of backpacking gear not to go cheap on? I would say your sleeping bag, but that's just me personally because I get really cold. If you have a miserable sleep, it makes everything worse. So I would say like a combination tent sleeping bag because you don't want to be wet, but the sleeping bag's what's going to keep you warm. So I'm not super into gear like when it comes to that stuff, but we've been doing it for long enough now that I've refined it to the point where I'm super happy with what I have. I would say sleeping mat, sleeping bag, and tent are the most important things to me because the shelter that you have, you want that to be as solid as possible. For one thing, because when you sleep, that's like the most important part. Like when you're awake, right? If you're uncomfortable, it's not such a big deal. But if you're sleeping and you're like wet or cold or you don't have like a comfortable mat to lie on, then it just doesn't, you know what I'm saying? So I would get a really nice sleeping mat. Although sleeping mats aren't even that expensive. I think mine was like $60. Fantastic. It's I forgot the brand, but it's really good. The sleeping bag that we got from Outdoor Vitals, that was a review unit. And then we ended up buying 2 more for Brian and Andrew because they're so good. It's just like down and then you sleep so warm. Yeah. So I gave you 3 pieces of gear, but I guess maybe most important would be the sleeping bag. Arna lets you know how strong he is by carrying a tree. Like you need to know he's really strong. I love it, dude. There's that's a big spoiler though. Never mind. But yeah, that reminded me of something else. Okay. Oh, can you use anti-fog spray on lens filters? I've never tried that. It's funny. You'd think that I would think more about stuff like that, but when it comes to the elements, I've never done enough to protect our cameras from it. Like when it rains, we just kind of like half-heartedly try to cover them. Sometimes we'll bring plastic bags, and then other times we just try to like put them in our coat or whatever and try to keep them from getting wet. But I probably should think about that a little bit more, especially with the disaster that we had at Manistee, to try and protect the camera. Oh, I forgot to eat sauerkraut, man. I forgot my sauerkraut, son. Gotta have a bite or 2 of that with every meal. So yeah, I don't have a good answer, but I do know that lenses have a special coating on them, and the coating can eventually get rubbed off. So you don't want to use like weird harsh chemicals because that coating is like an anti-glare coating. I think most of our lenses don't have that coating anymore, though, and it doesn't really matter, though. I'll definitely be back in California at some point, but I don't know. Z-Link says viewsgo.org for streaming movies. I don't pirate movies, especially as somebody who wants to produce content online and try to make money off of it. I feel like that's really bad karma to steal content online from other people. So I just use the library or streaming stuff like Netflix and whatnot. You snap a lot in your videos. You snap that much every day. Yes, I'm constantly snapping and clapping. Oh, that's a good point. I think the most important pieces of gear not to skimp on are footwear and backpack. Those are easy to buy items that don't fit you properly. Those, I think I know what you mean. It's like they're easy to buy and you want them to fit properly. I think the reason why I didn't bring those up specifically is because I don't think they're very expensive. Like my shoes that I have, they're $75, and I think they're fantastic. Maybe $75 is a lot of money for people when it comes to shoes, but I would think like 150 to 200 would be a lot of money. But just like these $75 Timberlands that I bought on Amazon.com, they have been great. In fact, I just bought another pair after like 3 years. Although maybe like 3 years, like you can get a better pair that would last longer, but they've been great so far. And my backpack, I didn't spend a lot of money on that either. It was like $100. Maybe it was a little more than that, but it's been super solid. And then the other one that I bought that was like $100 also, that second Kelty I was talking about earlier, that one fell apart really quickly. So I don't know if it's always price is exactly the best indicator of how good something is. A lot of times you just kind of have to use it and then find out if it's actually good or not. What did I miss about Joe Robinette? By the way, it's Robinette, right? Because when we first saw his name like years and years ago, we were like, oh, Joe Robinet, because it seems like a French name. But I think it's Robinette, right? I've never actually heard him say it before, so I don't know. I'm sure you guys know, so please let me know. Do you ever watch any other Ohio backpacking YouTubers like Tim Watson, Bryce Newbold, and Outland? I've watched Tim Watson and Bryce Newbold both. I've never heard of Outland. If you guys give me a link, I'll check them out. Or I can just Google that. Not Google it, but search for it. Bryce Newbold did a great review of, what's it called? There's that one ultra lightweight company that uses Dyneema fabric for their backpacks. And they make like these white backpacks and it's just like basically a big cavity. That was a good review. And I was really thinking about getting one of those backpacks at that time, but I ended up not doing it. I don't remember why. Do you guys ever miss owning a Zumba studio? Does your mom have a job other than teaching Zumba? She does not have a job other than that, although she occasionally does freelance work. She can do lots of legal contracts and stuff. She'll do those on occasion for people, but Zumba's her main gig. I only teach once a week now. So like I'm not involved in running the business at all, but having your own studio, it's like you're in control of a lot more and it's much more of a destination for people. Now that it's just renting out like an exercise space within another space, like the place is a like retirement center. So it's a retirement activity center or a senior activity center. So seniors go there and they do different stuff. They can take exercise classes. There's a pool where they swim. There's a track around the thing that they can walk around. You're sharing a space, so it doesn't have that same vibe of just like, this is the place where people go to. This is just Revel. And you lose a lot of that. And then you lose a lot of the community where people are like hanging out in front of the class and like on the couches before class. That part I do miss, but I don't miss it at the same time because I don't want to run a business. So that was enough of a negative for me that I don't miss any part of running a business. It's such a pain. T. Bryce Ryan, just getting off work, so I was ready to catch up live. Thank you for joining. This is totally random stream tonight. We'll do this some other time. too. This could become like a weekly or bi-weekly thing. Yeti says we should bring Thomas to Dolly Sods and hit up Lion's Head. That is for sure happening at some point. We're bringing Thomas to Dolly Sods. And at some point, what I really want to do is do kind of like a Timberline Trail thing, where the Timberline Trail was that 40-mile trail that I did. You guys will see that on January 1st. And I want to go to Dolly Sods and do every single trail. I don't know how many miles that is, but I feel like I could do that. Spend like a week doing it and then just do every single trail. I love that place so much. It's weird that that's the place we picked for our first episode, and that's still one of my favorite places I've ever been to. There's something about it, and I think it's the constantly changing landscape and the openness of it. I really like open spaces. God, I love that place. It is so good. I have one full day left in the Smokies suggested trail. I've not done enough of the Smokies trails to be able to suggest one, unfortunately. But, I mean, they're all good, dude. The Smokies is just incredible. Hyperlight Gear. Yes, that was the name. Hyperlight Gear. Dyneema. I stopped wearing my retainer. See the bottom teeth? That's what my teeth looked like before I got braces. And my top teeth, they looked really bad before I got braces. Like this one was like way out. As soon as I stopped wearing the retainer, the bottom teeth went right back to normal. Just like where they go in like that. The top teeth, fortunately, more or less stayed the same. But I just could not wear that retainer anymore. I think it was affecting my sleep actually, because yeah, I don't have like good scientific evidence for that. Like I didn't pay that much attention. But especially when I got off of wearing the retainer for long enough that my teeth started moving and it was too tight every night, it was just such a pain. When I first got the retainer and I was wearing it all the time, it would be my teeth were so straight and so fit to that retainer that in the morning, the retainer would kind of just fall out. Like I would barely have to pop it out. By the end, when I was wearing that retainer, like I had to pop it out so hard, it felt like my teeth were about to break, so I just stopped wearing it. I was like, okay, that's enough. Yeah, so a couple other people are saying Hyperlight Mountain Gear. That was indeed the one. Oh, it's just T-Bryce Ryan. Okay. Oh, what phone do you think is the best outdoor filming cell phone? I think any one of the modern ones look great. I saw some footage of the iPhone XS and the software that they use to do high dynamic range. So like if you're got the sun behind you and you're filming like this, where is my phone? I don't know where my phone is. And you're filming like this way, it does a really good job of making it so you can still see the sun and still see your face. It does something with the software. It's incredible. I almost bought an iPhone XS on the spot right there. I was like, nope, I've got a good camera. I've got a good phone. Just leave it. But I think any of the modern ones are fantastic. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them, really. So by modern ones, I mean like the top of the line Galaxy, the OnePlus top of the line, the Pixels, the iPhones, they're all really good. I assume you do all of your music. Just finished watching yesterday's video. Really? No, so I don't do any of the music for the vlog. The vlog music is all from a site called epidemicsound.com. Yeah, that's what it is. Epidemicsound.com. And that's you pay $15 a month and you can use their entire library for any YouTube video. And then even if you stop subscribing, those videos can still stay monetized. But for Adventure Archives, we do write all of our own music. I don't think we've ever, in a main episode, we've never used anybody else's music besides our own. See you later, Matthew. Thank you for joining. Here's some inspiration to visit me in North Idaho. Oh, I almost left the stream by clicking that link. Open in a new tab. Oh. There was some music to that video, but that looks cool. I'm going to check that out after this stream. I've never heard of Too Mellow and Tokyo Toe album, Tokyo 2. I only use the Epidemic Sound or other royalty-free music. I mean, sometimes I'll use like songs that are actually licensed, but usually they're like video game tracks, and they're not like in the YouTube system, so it doesn't demonetize your videos when you put those in. I had the same experience with my Invisalign retainer. Gave up after a couple of years. I think the thing that really pushed me over the edge was at some point I had to decide, am I going to wear this retainer for the rest of my life, or am I going to stop wearing it? And it was just last year that I stopped wearing it. Yeah. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is such a pain every single night. I hate it. It always hurts. My teeth are never going to get back to the point where the retainer is comfortable again. I stepped on it and broke the top one in half, had to super glue that back together. And then what happened? Oh, I went to the orthodontist and I hadn't worn it in like months. I said, can I still wear it? She said, yes. The very next day, I'm wearing it and I drop it on the floor and step on it and break the top one in half. So I super glue it back together and I half-heartedly wore it for a little while. And I was like, okay, this is done. If my teeth go back to crookedness, I'm just gonna have to live with it. I'm like, at the time I was like 33 or whatever. I'm like, I'm over 30 years old. I don't care that much about the way my teeth look anymore. It's done. So yeah. Uriah, thank you for joining. See you later. I'm probably going to stop pretty soon. We've been going for 51 minutes. Wow, that time flies, dude. I can talk to myself for a long time. That is I don't know if I should be proud of that. I just talk to myself. Next time you go to Japan, you should stay at a capsule hotel. That is a great idea. I think the main reason I've never thought of doing that before is because they're not cheap, which is weird. You'd think that they'd be super cheap. But just for the experience, I absolutely agree. I should definitely do that. That reminds me, when I was living in Japan doing my foreign exchange, one time I played with the basketball club every day. Went to school, played with the basketball club, and then on the way home, I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop at that internet cafe. They have TVs there. Final Fantasy 12 had just come out, and I bought like the Final Fantasy 12 special edition that came, or PlayStation 2 and the game. And I was like, man, I really want to play some of this. So I went to what I mean is I had a laptop with a capture card, so I would hook it up to that. It looked terrible. I was like, I really want to play it for real on a nice TV. So I went to this internet cafe. They have free drinks at the internet cafe, not like alcoholic drinks, but just regular drinks. And it's in a little dark cubicle, right? So I set up in the dark cubicle. I had just like sweated my face off playing basketball for like 2 hours. I went and I got one of those like frozen slushies. What do they call them? Yeah, slushies, right? Is that actually what they're called? What do they call them in The Simpsons? Not squeegees. Quickies, Quickie Mart. The real ones are called slushies. Anyways, I got one of those orange ones. It's full of sugar, really cold, and that's all I drank. I drank that instead of drinking water. When I was done, after playing for like an hour or two in that dark room drinking that slushie, I had the worst headache of my life after that. I've never experienced a headache like that. That's like migraine level, I would imagine, for people who have migraines. Anyways, that just reminded me of it with the capsule hotel. Uptrail, I really need to get to one of those YouTube meetups. I just need to put a little more effort into actually going when people schedule it, because we've been invited to a few, and I'm just like, I really want to go, but every time I think about having to schedule it and making sure that I'm there and trying to get the other guys there too. Like if it's just me, it's probably a lot easier. So next time somebody does one, I'll just make sure that at least well, maybe not next time, but the next time I'm able to, I will go to it at least and then see if the other guys can too. That's a ton of work doing your own music. The music is honestly the part that takes the longest. If we were just editing videos, I could be done by myself without like the narration and everything else. Like I could edit that myself in 3 days, an hour-long video. That's about what it took me to do the Timberline Trail video. But when you add in narration always takes an entire day, minimum. And I mean like an entire workday. It takes an entire workday to write it, for one thing, and then another entire workday to record it and get it inserted. Like that, it's really disheartening because you finish an episode, right? You finish an episode and it's all laid out there. You can watch it from start to finish. But then you realize that you still have to put in the narration, put it at the proper point, and then adjust the volume all the way through. It takes hours, and it's really annoying. But yes, and then writing music. Writing music, every time you start. When you write music, it is, hold on. Here we go. Okay, pretend that this is a blank sheet of paper. My brother drew this yesterday. He can draw really well. And he just doodled that out real quick. Man, I wish I had gotten that good at drawing. We both drew all the time as kids, and then I stopped when I was in about 6th or 7th grade. But if I had continued, maybe I could draw like that. Anyways, imagine this is a blank sheet of paper. Every single time you write a song, that's what you're looking at. It's just a blank sheet of paper. Now, where do I even begin? And you just start hitting notes on the keyboard, and then you play the same stupid sounds in Logic Pro 10 that you've used literally thousands of times, and you're like, God, I can't listen to these sounds again. I need to get some new sounds. But then you look online to get sounds, and you're like, man, those are way too expensive, and I don't even know if they're any good or not. So you don't use those, and then you go crawling back to your old sounds, and you're like, well, maybe it should just be talent, and you don't need to have a different sound. But then at the same time, you think to yourself, okay, maybe, but I'm still sick of these sounds. That's about what my current experience with writing music is. Oh, God. What was the link again? I don't know what I was talking about. Welcome, Scout Dawson, Travel Vlogs. Speaking of which, Scout Dawson, are you already travel vlogging? Because I'm going to look at the channel right now. And if you are, I'm going to watch. Maybe not at this exact moment, but at some point. Okay, nothing came up when I did that. But anyway, yes, Scout Dawson, if you ever start vlogging, please let me know. And it was probably affecting your sleep too about the retainer. It definitely was, man. Oh, the album Memories of Tokyo Toe is a full-on dedication album to Jet Set Radio. I always wanted to get into Jet Set Radio, but I never fully got into it. So oh, Mr. Anderson is in the chat. Welcome, my brother from another mother. I don't even know what he just said 2 sentences in English. And the first sentence, I don't know what he's referring to. He says, oh, it won't be long for you guys. And then the second sentence, I can read all of those words, but I have no clue what he's talking about. You've got your own Matthews and Marner and Bozer and Pedersen, I think. What? That is technically an English sentence, but it means nothing to me. Oh, hockey. Only you Canadians. That's so me. Looking at my empty DAW is so intimidating. It's so true, man. What do you do here? The problem too is that when I sit down, I can just start coming up with stuff, and I can start writing music that entertains me. But so often it's so similar to what I wrote before. And to a certain degree, that's what people want. Like you listen to your favorite band or Kenny G or whatever, because you know the type of music that they're going to make. But at the same time, I just feel kind of like, I don't know what I don't feel like I'm going to my full potential when I write the same thing over and over again. Even if sometimes I super enjoy it. One example is the last song from Seneca Creek. I was telling Andrew, I was like, maybe we should try to find another way to end this episode than to have slow motion and the dramatic music and the dramatic narration. And then I wrote this song that I was so into, and I'm still into it. It's a great song. But I was like, man, okay, whatever. I wrote the song. Let's just whatever. I like the song. Let's just do it again. But at the same time, I still want to, vary it up, and I want to constantly be trying to at least put in some different flavor, not to just go completely off the rails and do something completely different. But I want to keep it fresh enough that it's not. But at the same, I was going to say, I want to keep it fresh enough so it's not the exact same thing every time, even though our episodes usually are pretty similar from episode to episode. But that's kind of what can be appealing about a lot of different shows. Like, people watch Bob Ross on Twitch every day. It is the same thing every single episode. And he's done it for like 9 seasons. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because that's actually what Andrew brought up. He was like, he was worried, like, maybe we should like have more variety. But then he was like, but Bob Ross, literally the same thing every time. And it's a tree every time, and a cabin, and a friendly little horse. I don't think he does horses. And a friendly cloud or whatever. Happy accidents. That's what you go for. You want some like reliability, not reliability. I don't know what the word is, but something that you can count on. You can count on Adventure Archives to have some hiking shots with music, some cooking and eating in front of a campfire, and some cheesy narration and some cheesy posing. That's what you're gonna get. And if that's what you want, then sign yourself. If that's not what you want, then just go ahead and watch something else. It's kind of my current philosophy on it yet. Or anyway. I like to use writing challenges or imposing restrictions. I've said many times before that restrictions often foster creativity. Like Super Nintendo games. I think that's one of the reasons I really like them, is because they didn't have a lot to work with, but they took what they had and made something incredible. And when you have infinite options, which is kind of the problem with writing music nowadays especially, is you literally have infinite options, especially if you're going to go buy new sounds on the internet. You can make anything in any style at any time, so it's really hard to focus yourself. Those early video games, they had like 4 channels of sound and like 1 kilobyte of memory. I don't know what I'm actually talking about, but the restrictions were super narrow, so they had to be creative in what they did. A lot of the stuff they came up with is ingenious. But I actually haven't done that for my own music writing just because I don't know how to restrict it. I should probably do that at some point just as a creative exercise, but also to help myself. Anyway, have you played the game They Are Billions yet? I was just hearing about that on the Giant Bombcast. Let me Google this real quick. Whoa. This is such a you game, Mr. Ander.
That's a lot of spitty ball.
Holy moly. Was this like StarCraft on crack or something? Holy cow, dude. This dude's computer is chugging trying to play this game. And it looks like there's a billion dudes there. Holy cow. Well, I have not played an RTS in so long. Wow, that computer is chugging. He's just calculating. Wow, okay, sorry, got distracted. They Are Billions. I've not played it yet, but man, it looks like a very you game, Mr. Ander. I'm Trail 71. I like your accent too, dude. Your accent is fantastic. It is a very northern Michigan, Minnesota accent. It's a really good one. Yes, I am going to get back to Twitch very soon. I have a huge backlog of editing right now from those 2 jobs I just did. I've got 2 videos I need to do tomorrow that I just got an email about today. And I've got these videos I just filmed my mom. As soon as I get all those done, I'm done for the year as freelance jobs go, and then I can get back to Twitch. Well, that's not the reason why I haven't been on Twitch. I just haven't done it. But actually, the reason that I got off of Twitch recently is because I bought this 4K capture card and I loved it. It was so good. But I was like, I can't afford this right now, so I returned it. And now I'm having to go back to my crappy 720p capture card, and I look at it, and I know other people don't care, but I care. And I look at it, and I'm like, this is such garbage quality. I could have so much better. And it's kind of put the fire out for me a little bit. But I would like to get back to it. Robbie, I will get my man Santa to give you They Are Billions if you Twitch stream it for Timid T. I won't play it, so don't gift it to me. But one day we will do a joint stream. And I'll watch you play all those random games, and I'll just ask you banal questions about it. And it'll be hilarious and entertaining. See you, Scout Dawson. Thank you for joining. Please do let me know. Jason says Updrill is an honorary Canadian now. Outdoor XP, welcome. It's not going to supplant RimWorld as the best game of all time. RimWorld sounds like that name. I'm like, you could make some funny jokes about that, but I won't because I'm too classy. You ever played Second Life? I have not played Second Life. I've seen videos of Second Life. I don't even know where do you install Second Life? Do you go to secondlife.com and then you put an installer on your computer and then you get viruses or something? And is Second Life still running? Is that still a thing that people do? Because I remember in college, ironically, I took a few video game classes in college, and most of the games that they talked about were games I'd never heard of. I was like, dude, I have been playing video games all my life. I literally go to video game sites every day. I read video game message boards, one message board, and I know all the latest goings on. And I've never played Second Life. I have never played Dota. I've never played League of Legends. I've played Fortnite. All of these are the biggest games in the world, and I barely play them. So it's kind of just goes to show that video games have become a much wider field than they were when I was a kid. When I was a kid, if you played video games, you had something in common with somebody else, guaranteed. Now, if you say you play video games, it's like saying you watch movies. You wouldn't go up to somebody and go, oh, you watch movies? Oh, that's great. I watch movies too. It'd be like a kind of bizarre thing to say. Like you might say, oh, I watch horror movies too. But you wouldn't just say movies. That used to be how it was with video games. You say, I play video games. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you play Halo, Modern Warfare. Okay, you play the Pokemon, Super Mario World, whatever. But not anymore. Oh, Jason, we met you at the meet and greet in Columbus. Hello. I will say hello back. It was good meeting you. I don't remember your names, the name and the face specifically, but I think I forgot most people's names and face. In fact, I don't remember a single name. I remember a lot of faces, but man, I can't remember a single name. I apologize. Oh, favorite video game soundtrack comes from the game Earthbound. That reminds me, we're going to have to play something here. Well, it doesn't remind me, but that makes me think that I need to play this song. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Let's make it quiet. This is my favorite track from Earthbound. Oh man, Winters is the greatest, dude. Oh, that's such a good song. Okay, I'm gonna mute it because I'm not sure how it affects the mic when I have that playing. But man, Winters, great song. Matthew Singer says, I decided to stream you to the TV while I cook. You know what's really funny? Is I'm sitting here talking to my computer, completely alone in my kitchen. And somehow I'm having an experience with 46 other people. 46 people You guys are having an experience with 46 other people as well. And we aren't even looking at each other. I'm looking at you and I'm looking at my camera and you're looking at me. And somehow we're still connected. The internet was inevitable. Like, of all the different pieces of technology that humans have made, the internet was the most inevitable thing possible. That we would create a network where we could communicate at a distance at any time. I guess VR is inevitable-ish, but I don't know how pervasive it's actually going to become. Anyways, that was a tangent. Mr. Anderson, the real Mr. Anderson, welcome. Hope you're having a good morning in the Far East. I just bought Mallet Flux. Let me know. I've almost bought like the Native Instruments like complete library just one day when I was like so sick of all of my Logic sounds, but I was like, I don't know what any of these sound like. They're probably all like electronic sounds for making electronic dance music, and that's not really the type of music that we make. So it didn't make much sense to, you know. Disasterpace uses the concepts of those restrictions in early games, but takes them to the absolute limit in things like the Fez soundtrack. I haven't actually listened too much to the Fez soundtrack. I played like the first level or two. By level, I mean just like I played like the first 20 minutes of Fez. So I don't know too much about the soundtrack, but I do know that this reminds me of Octopath Traveler. The composer of that game said he was trying to go back to some simplicity. Like, even though he's using modern instruments and modern recording techniques and all that stuff, I think the big thing for me that really attracted me to game music has always been the strong emphasis on melody. Whenever a game is just kind of ambient music, the music doesn't resonate with me as much. I think you guys might be able to tell that from Adventure Archives, but all the songs are super melodic. Very few of them are just like ambient and like kind of in the background. I think that's why we don't get this comment very often, but when we do, I think that's the thing that people are like thinking of when they say this. Like, whenever people don't like our music, like, oh, this music's really cheesy, it's because that music does not hide itself at all. It is always front and center. So if you do not like the sounds that we use or the melodies that we made, it's very obvious and it's very in your face, and it will not, and it could hamper your enjoyment of the rest of the video if you don't like that music, which I think that has happened to some people, but I think most people are okay with it. I personally love the music, so it's going to still be like that. So I apologize if you don't like it, but I'm in once they upgrade my Mennonite internet. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Ander lives out in the boondocks of Canada. I visited him. Did I visit you this year? I think it was this year. And I can confirm he does have some Mennonite internet. He has an amazing house, though, and it was made by, I think, Amish people, right? But it's a great house. So you lose some internet, but you get some good house. Just checking to see what time it was. You're like, I don't think I had enough dinner yet, but it's already 9. That's problematic. Whoa! Just got a super chat from Yanesio. Thank you. When did I start playing piano? Keep it up. Oh, and Mr. Ander had to leave. I'll see you later, Mr. Ander. I don't know where my phone is, so I'll get that text later. When did I start playing piano? Keep it up. I started playing my senior year of high school. I started music in 6th grade. I played percussion in 6th grade and 7th grade. I played percussion all through middle school and high school. I started in 6th grade. And I started taking lessons in like 7th or 8th grade. And then my last year of high school, I don't know why I started playing piano. I think I just wanted to start playing piano, but also my drum teacher's wife was a piano teacher. So I started taking lessons from her. I took 1 year of lessons my senior year. That's the only actual lessons that I've had in piano was that senior year. The rest of it is just self-taught, but I took drum lessons and percussion lessons on the marimba and stuff for years. So that's where I got most of my musical knowledge. But that is when I started playing. So 12th grade, which at this point, 12th grade was 2002, 2003. So 15 years at this point, but I probably haven't learned a new song since 2007 or 2008. I play the same thing all the time now. You watch Doug Perry. I think I was subscribed to him at one point, but I did a huge cleaning of all my subscriptions and videos that I don't watch all the time. Like, I like to keep my subscriptions videos that there's only a few channels I actually feel this way, so this is not entirely true, but I like to keep my subscriptions to just every time there's a new video, I want to watch it. So that's your Casey Neistats, your My Life in Gaming, your NKB HD. Those are the videos that I have to watch every time they come out. I'm like excited when they come out. But I have seen some Doug Perry videos. But you're also a drummer, so much for classy. I mean, I'm not a very good drummer. I would consider myself more of a percussionist, which I didn't know that you could be a percussionist and not be a drummer until my first semester in college. I accidentally became a music major. I thought I was doing like a music minor. Turns out I was doing a music major and like a telecom minor. So I had all music classes in one telecom class. I really didn't know what I was doing growing up, and I still kind of don't know what I'm doing, but man, did I not know what I was doing then. But anyways, the timpani player in the band, I was talking to her, and she's like, she's never played a drum set, never even sat down at a drum set. And I was like, what? Because my drum teacher, growing up in middle school and high school, he was like, no, you play everything, man. Like, that's not how I teach. I don't teach just one thing. If you want to play percussion, we're going to learn all the different instruments, which is actually, in retrospect, super cool. But you gravitate towards the stuff that you really like. And I never really gravitated to the drum set. My sense of rhythm, I have a good sense of rhythm and I really like rhythm, but my timekeeping and being really like accurate is terrible. Like, it's always been terrible. I always rush, slow down. It's all over the place. I'm just not that type of person. But my friend Nate, who helps with the Adventure Archives music and does all the drums, he's a studio drummer in LA. I always like to brag about him. He is like I can live vicariously through him. I've talked about it before on the vlog, but it's great when you have these friends who you can live multiple lives because of them. I live the life of a studio drummer through him. And even though I don't have any of his memories, his experiences, every time I talk to him about it, I'm just like completely happy for him. I'm so glad you're doing that. Yes, it's great. There's one piece of backpacking gear you could buy at any price. What would it be? I don't know. That's a tough question because I have everything that I want. Maybe the only thing I can really think of is a backpack that is much lighter, but still has lots of space and is super durable and is rainproof. Does that exist? I think the Hyperlight gear actually might be one, like fit all of those things. But yeah, a lighter backpack that was also waterproof. Because my current one is like 6 pounds. Just the backpack itself is 6 pounds. So if you want to cut down on weight, you're already at such a handicap anyways that, like, before I got my current sleeping bag, my sleeping bag was 6 pounds, my backpack was 6 pounds, and my tent was 6 pounds. So I was at 18 pounds just for the main three. So anything else I added on top of that was just, but yeah, anyway. Anything you can say about upcoming AA episodes? There's never, that's the thing, is people ask that all the time. There's never anything to say because it's usually a very short turnaround. As soon as we make it, we start, or as soon as we film it, we start making it. And filming it, usually we decide like a week before we go. We're supposed to be going on a trip at the end of this month and we still have not decided where we're going. So that's, oh my goodness, it's been an hour and 20. Okay, we're gonna have to stop the stream here real soon, guys. Get your final questions in because I really gotta eat just a little bit more before I go to sleep. I'm gonna be really hungry. Average gamer is 34. See, the thing when you talk about gamers, I really am curious how they're defining it. Because if you include all the people who play mobile games, the pool is so large that it's hard to draw any like conclusions from it. But if you like restrict it to the type of gamer that I consider myself. And I don't even like the term gamer. It seems so dumb. Like, why is there a term gamer, but there's not a term like, no, why does the term gamer exist? I find it kind of weird. It'd be like saying, I'm a reader. I'm a watcher. I watch videos. It's like everybody watches video. Everybody plays games. Especially now, everybody plays games because of mobile phone. In fact, that is probably why there is the term gamers, because it used to be not everybody played games. People would play like board games and stuff, but video games were such a niche thing. And then as the controllers got more complicated, that weeded out more and more people, and it got more exclusionary. And then people started going crazy in their gamer things. And then it was like, it's a whole nother topic. But like when you say the average gamer, I feel like that could be so broad if you include everybody who plays cell phones. Although I will say, if you're talking about the type of gamer that I am, that grew up like with a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo, I could totally see the average gamer age being 34. Oh, we most likely be going down to somewhere in Kentucky this coming April. If you're free, you're welcome to join us. Yeah, just keep me informed, because I would like to do more collaborations, and maybe not even necessarily collaboration videos, but I just like to go camping with other people. I would like to do a few trips where I don't film. It's really hard for me because I just love filming stuff so much. And especially when I go to a cool place, it feels like I'm not wasting, but I'm missing out on this great opportunity to film something really cool and make a cool video, that it feels like a waste. Internet has so much bad stuff, but it's still man's greatest creation, in my opinion. It's so true. I feel like a lot of the bad stuff comes from the fact that people have not fully embraced the fact that the internet is real life now. So when people say things online, they're still not saying it as if they're saying it to an actual person. There's so much abstraction there that you can leave a comment on some YouTube video and just say like the meanest thing, or just even if it's not the meanest thing, you say something just like off the cuff and you don't really think too much about it. You're just like, oh yeah, I just said whatever, like who cares? But to the person, especially somebody like the content creator, oh man, I hate that word. Why did I use that word? I'll talk about content creator, that word, why I don't like it in a second. But to them, they take it personally, because it's hard not to take it personally, because when I read comments, I read them as if each person is a genuine, real person who has something to say. So when it's just somebody coming in trolling and just saying something ridiculous that doesn't even deserve a second thought, it's still really hard to read that in that way. Like I read it as if it's a person, especially now, like a lot of people have their real names there and pictures sometimes too. So yeah, and then like you know what? The other thing is like, what is the word? It tribalizes people, and we can get like these echo chambers formed where people are just like ranting and raving about things that aren't even in their real life. The internet like brings us so many things that we get exposed to so many things on the internet. And I think a lot of people have internalized those as being in their reality. They see something that is happening somewhere, and they think that it's just that it's like taking over the world. And that this is, I'm being broad here because I don't want to get into a conversation about specifics, but they'll look at that and then say, oh man, I got to rail against this. And I'm like, maybe we should put less of railing against something and complaining about stuff, and just a little bit more constructive stuff. Maybe figure out what you have to offer and put that out there instead of just saying everything that's wrong with the world and saying what that person's doing wrong and what that group is doing wrong and what they're doing wrong. Instead, figure out, how can I contribute in a positive way that actually furthers humanity on a goal of whatever our goal is, to be more joyful, happy, nice to each other, whatever. I don't know. I can keep going on, but anyways, content creator, the reason I don't like that name is because it makes it sound like I'm creating like just drivel for you to just like put in your mouth like you're some cattle. Like it makes me feel, content creator, that word makes me feel like I'm creating, what is the word? Not chattel. What's the stuff that cattle eat? Grass. That's not what I meant, but it makes me feel like I'm making cattle feed and I'm just putting it in a trough and you're coming and then you're eating the cattle feed. And it's like, that is not what I'm doing. Okay. I'm trying to make like a nice, well-packaged little entertaining video that you can watch for 5 to 7 minutes and then enjoy that every single day. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do with the vlog. Okay, work myself into a tizzy over that. Content creator. Okay. Well, I'm really behind on the chat. Thank you for joining, Daryl. Hope you had that good meeting. Or hope your meeting goes well. Whoa, I'm super high, yeah. Complete is worth it. Okay. Well, maybe next Black Friday, if they have a Black Friday sale, I'll do that. Article 13. If this is a, oh, what is this? I've not heard of this. Oh man, I don't know what I think about Article 13. I'd have to read up more on it. But Mary Poppins says, "You're sweet." Thank you, Mary Poppins. I enjoyed your movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it was good. Speaking of which, I used to watch Bed Knobs and Broomsticks all the time. I saw an article about that today, and I didn't read the article, but it made me think, I didn't realize Bed Knobs and Broomsticks and Mary Poppins were different movies. They are. Peter McKinnon. I don't like Peter McKinnon's videos. I like him as a person just fine, but I think his videos are boring. And I don't know why his videos are so popular. Like, I love Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat, I'll watch his videos in a second, but Peter McKinnon, they bore me to tears, dude. I like him, though. He's a very nice guy, enthusiastic guy. That's why percussion seems so hard to me. I keep saying I'm going to end this stream, and I keep going, but you know, if it's flowing, let's just keep it flowing. It's like signing up for 15 different instruments. The other part that really sucks about percussion is carrying your instruments to solo and ensemble contests every year. Just like it's people, what is the flute players that are walking in, they got their little flute like this, and they're just like, they open it up, and then they set up their flute, and they're just like, they're done in like 2 seconds. I was so jealous of those people. Walk in it, I got a marimba here, and then I got the drum set still in the car, and they're just carrying the drum set. Oh my God, dude. I really wish they would have had like community drum sets and community marimbas that you could play on. I know I wouldn't be used to them, but I would infinitely rather just walk in, go, and then walk out. God, man. Carrying instruments was the worst. Whew. How much do you think it would cost to get everything one would need for a 2 to 3 day backpacking trip all at once? $100 backpack. Well, it depends. Like if you want to go to Walmart and get super cheap stuff, you could probably get everything you needed. Although I don't know how much a water filter would cost. Maybe you could get like water tablets for super cheap. I bet you could maybe do it under $200. Like if you got really crappy stuff, you could probably make it happen. If you want to get not crappy stuff, $500 to $600, I'd say would be reasonable. Other people are way more knowledgeable on that than me, though. Like Up Trail 71 could probably tell you. Caps Outdoors. Anybody who has outdoors in their name, I'm sure they could do a better job than I could. Oh, Z-Pack Arcol is 62 liters and weighs 1.5 pounds. I looked at the Z-Packs a little bit. I shouldn't exactly. The reason why I haven't been looking at backpacks since is because I've gotten it finally down to a comfortable enough weight. My backpack's so big, I can put anything in it. I really like that about it. And I'm just trying to be happy with the gear that I have right now. There's no like glaring problem. So I haven't been looking at that stuff. Same reason why I haven't been looking at camera stuff. What are you doing for Christmas? Going to my brother's house, and we're gonna hang out with the kids. Speaking of which, I need to get the gift. I gotta get them a good gift. How the AA side videos been doing for views? They're honestly not worth doing. Some of them are worth doing, like the canoe trip, Mount Katahdin, anything where we actually do something similar to what we already do. Those are worth doing. But the other ones, the other problem is I'm not excited about those videos. That's the big thing. Is anything that I'm not excited about doing, I feel like, not just me, but any of us, if we're not excited about doing it, it can kind of show in the videos. That's my intuition. But anything that you just make out of a sense of obligation, which honestly, that's what the side videos have been. We're like, we got to find a way to make more videos and like be like a regular YouTube channel. I kind of think that that's the wrong like strategy to take. We should be shooting for something like what Nerdwriter does, those type of channels where it's one big video every now and then, and just go with, like, he has many more subscribers, so it's much more sustainable. If we could get to that level of subscribers, but I don't know how you get to that level without having something that can go semi-viral or have like some catchiness to it where it gets into the algorithmic thing. Like our closest thing was Japan. We got 20,000 subscribers from that Japan video. So maybe I just answered my own question. We should just do more of those. Anyways, that was a lot of thoughts at once. I don't know if that all made sense. The cud. No, that's not what I was saying. There's some word like chattel. What is the word? Fodder. Fodder. That is the word I was looking for. Let's see what fodder actually means. Food, especially dried hay or feed. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Content creator makes it sound like I'm just making you guys fodder and putting it in a trough, and you come and eat it out of a sense of obligation because you haven't eaten today. Coming to Virginia, do McAfee's Knob, the #1 most voted place on the AT. Serena Davis, you got it. Green Bambo. Green Bam 00. You guys both got it, yeah. I should really be catching up on, I should try to get caught up on this chat here because 10 minutes ago when I was talking about that, that'd have been really good. Longest stream ever. This is for the vlog. This might be the longest one. I've been talking the entire time. I feel like I'm getting lightheaded from not breathing enough. Just been breathing out with my stupid words coming out of my stupid word hole. To play percussion is to be a part-time mover. Dave, thank you for knowing my pain. My pain. The pain. That's why, honestly, I gave my drum set to my friend Brendan like a few months ago. I was just like, I'm so sick of this thing in my life. I don't play it enough to justify how many times I've had to move and then clean this thing because it looks bad. Getting that thing out of my life was like the greatest experience. I was like, yes! I sold my electronic drum set and I regret it so much. God, I regret that so much. I paid $500 for it on Craigslist, which wasn't a great price, but it wasn't too bad either. It was when I was living in New York. I played it all the time. It was fantastic. Moved back here, and then I played it less and less and less and less. I don't know why I stopped playing it so much. Maybe it's just I had other stuff I was doing. Put it on eBay. Ended up selling it for some ridiculously low price. What a ripoff. I got like maybe like $150 out of it, right? And then the dude complained about the way I shipped it. And it was like, oh, I couldn't even get the brain working. The brain wasn't working. I had to do blah, blah, blah. So I had to refund him like $45 shipping because for some reason at that point, I still cared about my eBay score. Now I'm like, man, if you give me a bad eBay score, I don't care. I sell so infrequently, it doesn't matter. So I ended up making like $90 total off of that drum set, and now it's gone. And if I want to replace that electronic one, I could probably get it for relatively cheap, but then it's so much different. Like, I almost sold my marimba. God, I was that close. I had a buyer lined up and everything. And then I just, like, I got cold feet at the last second. I was like, I can't sell this thing. So glad I didn't. Because I might have gotten $1,400 for that, right? But then to replace it would be like $2,000, maybe more. That thing originally cost $2,200. but it's just gone, and it's such a different notion. How come I can't get those exact words that I want? It's such a different prospect. It is such a different prospect between replacing a marimba versus just keeping it, right? Yes, I did get the $1,400. So if I bought one for $2,000, I'd technically only be spending $600. But that $1,400 is so long gone that it doesn't feel like I'm only spending $600. It feels like I'm spending $2,000 again. So the same thing with that drum set. However much money I got, which admittedly wasn't enough, it would feel like I'm spending the full amount. So anyway. Thank you, Corey. Have a good flight. Backcountry Edge always has crazy deals too for outdoor stuff. I have never been to Backcountry Edge. I've been to backcountry.com, unless that's their new name. Have you thought of investing in a travel van like a VW camper? I've not thought about that at all, but that would be really cool. What is your favorite game console, old or new? Super Nintendo. I've been saying that for a long time, but I think I may revise that to the PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 has so many great JRPGs, and I got, it hasn't arrived yet. I pre-ordered it a long time ago. It's a PSIO. It's a thing that you plug into the back. Well, maybe some of you guys know I modded my PlayStation 1 so I could play burned discs. But the PSIO is you can plug it into the back and then put all your games on an SD card. When that gets there, that PS1 is going to be like that'll be my desert island system if I ever had to do that. Yeah, I love the PS1. Are you not excited about most of the side videos because you're not in most of them? No, that has nothing to do with it. In fact, I really like editing Thomas's videos. Like that's really entertaining to me. And in fact, I really like Thomas's side videos. I think Thomas's side videos are what I would be excited about making if we did more side videos. Or like the Timberline Trail, doing videos like that. But like, it's like the canoe video that me and Andrew did, it's just so, I don't want to say pointless, because it's not pointless exactly. It still does take you on a nice place, but it doesn't have that nice roundness that an actual trip has, where it's like you're getting into the trip and then you do the trip itself and then it has a nice finish with the post-hike meal. It's just kind of like this snapshot of something that's not that interesting. And like, I don't know, they just don't interest me that much. I don't really know the exact reasons exactly. I just like the fullness of a full episode, if that makes sense. They take a long time to, yeah. Landing behind, yeah, we're still here. I just kept letting it flow. But I think I am going to stop soon because I'm going to eat soon. I just loaned my marimba to a student for 3 weeks. And now I'm looking at the big open space wondering if I want it back. Oh, I can imagine. And I think I've seen one of your videos on your channel and you got like a 4.5 octave, or is it even a 5 octave? Those are so big. My God. Change the stream title to long. I did put short in the title, didn't I? Well, I'm about to catch up on the chat. Okay, cool. Okay, that means we really are going to be ending it here. So final questions. We went to the first slam. Oh, this is not a question. Thank you, Updrill. Yeah. I'm playing FF7 with your stream on in the background. Chocobo training, man. Time consuming. I got the gold Chocobo one time. I don't remember when that was. I definitely followed a guide very specifically to get it as fast as possible. Got Knights of the Round. That's actually, I usually don't do all the super bosses, get all the secret stuff and all that stuff. But my friend Brendan, who I'm sure you guys know from the vlog, he's the one who's always like he does everything. Like Dragon Quest XI, he's already 100% in the game, done everything. I'm still only like 15 hours in. I haven't had enough time to play it. In FF7, he just played the crap out of, and I remember looking at his thing, and it was great. How often are you bored due to having a non-traditional career? I have not been bored since there was some point in my life where I was like, I'm done being bored. I am never bored. Oftentimes I'm not satisfied. Like I'm like, oh, I should be doing something else. But never that traditional boredom where you're just like, I don't know what to do, or I don't know what I feel like doing. I always feel, especially lately, I always feel like doing something. And even when I was doing my 9 to 5 job in like 2008, 2009, I was never bored then either. I hated my job. Lots of times I was like, this job is just so unfulfilling. But as soon as I got out of work, I would do everything that I wanted to do in the day. And I wasn't bored then. But yeah, just that traditional boredness, like when you're a kid and you say, I'm bored, haven't had that in a long time. Okay, yeah. We'll stop at exactly 9:30. It's 9:26 right now. I've only beaten Emerald Weapon once. Love the side quest stuff in FF7, FF8. Dude, yeah, that stuff has always been really interesting to me, but since I had Brendan to do it, that's kind of like what I was talking earlier about living vicariously. I can live vicariously through him. He does all the conquering of the games and stuff, and I can just go look at his saves and he brags about all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's great, that's great. But I don't actually have to do any of it myself. Ruby Weapon, the red one, where you have to have Phoenix because you die all at the beginning and then resurrect yourself. That's so against my style of play that I was always really intimidated by. I was like, I can't do Ruby Weapon. I'd have to like figure out how to like have a strategy. I'm always just like doing the Knights of the Round over and over. I remember Chrono Trigger. One summer, me and my cousin James, we were playing that constantly. The only thing we did in every battle was cast Luminaire. Cast Luminaire, everybody's dead in one hit. Cast Luminaire, everybody's dead in one hit. So yeah, I'm really bad at strategy. I got hooked on A because you actually try to cook stuff and suffer through some bad weather and not instant dry granola, super light stuff. That's really a credit. Andrew is like, I feel like he's the one who pushed for that most of the time. Like me and Brian would be perfectly happy carrying just like some nuts, but he always like wants to do elaborate stuff. And like, he's absolutely right. Like lots of times it annoys us because we're waiting for him to cook and like he's taking forever. He's making a mess, but it always makes for great watching. So he's always right about that. Dream Adventure Archives trip location. New Zealand. New Zealand. We should make New Zealand happen, actually. I know somebody who lives there, one of my dad's friend, and my dad keeps saying, you guys should go there. He wants you to go. So it just seems like, man, that seems like a huge investment. Which not that that's a big deal, but it just seems like it would be really hard to get everybody at the same time. Spud Plug, most memorable AA food one. That was great. That was all Nicole, though. That she was the one who came up with Spud Plug. Would I ever do something like the Timberline video in the future? Definitely. I wish I could do the Timberline trail like all the time. That was fantastic. I want to do all of them now. I love that feeling so much. Just hiking on that trail, and the only thing you have to do is hike. And if you don't hike, you're not going to get out. And it's a great feeling. Landing Mon. Yes, New Zealand. Yeah, it's going to happen one day, I'm sure. Iceland. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying Iceland needs to happen. What's your base weight? I actually don't know anymore what my base weight is. Camera gear is not as much as you might think because a lot of the camera gear is outside of the actual backpack itself. It's like we're actually carrying it. Do you ever think about getting into weightlifting, becoming jacked up? The closest I ever got was this summer. You guys saw in the vlog when I was actually like lifting weights. Then my shoulders started hurting, and then I stopped lifting weights. I've just never gotten super into it, so I don't see it happening. But I will keep some weightlifting, or not weightlifting, but just some mild push-ups and pull-ups and some mild weights as a part of my routine every now and then, and maybe more often. I don't know. It's just I'm not motivated the same way I am by exercise for. I know that is exercise, but like cardio, like I thrive on that. Like I look forward to it, but weightlifting, I've never looked forward to. Where can you find a girlfriend? Earth, man. You just gotta put yourself out there. Put yourself out there and be an interesting person, and usually that'll help. I mean, the only reason I've ever had any girlfriends is just because they saw things that I do that are interesting or attractive, and somehow they actually liked me. But I haven't been putting myself out there or looking. So, okay, it is now 9:31. We're going to end the stream, everybody. Thank you for joining. that was really long. You guys had a good time. Tomorrow there will be another vlog. I don't know how much I actually filmed today, so we'll see how long it is. But thank you guys. Have a good one. I'm going to end this with some winters here. And then I'm going to, cancel the stream. Or end the stream. Oh, yeah, she's going it. Okay. Okay, so I just did a live stream after I did the premiere of the vlog. People are actually still in the chat right now. And we're ending it with some Winters music from Earthbound. People who are watching on stream, they're going to see this in the vlog and they're like, oh, I remember that. I don't think I'm in the vlog right this second, but that was a good stream. Thank you guys for joining. Do the shoulders. Like this actually something you can practice and they get really good at. All right, see you guys.